So you're at your soundboard and you're about to make that ever so important sale in a source unit to a customer. What's the one thing you got to remember? That's right, SiriusXM. What an amazing opportunity to upsell and optimize that exchange. On today's show, we're going to be talking about SiriusXM and all the great support it has for its dealers to enable you guys the best way possible to always close that SiriusXM upsell. I've got Ricky Lima in the studio with us. This is going to be a good ride. This is CMA Networks, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about SiriusXM. And it starts now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another CMA Network session here, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. And as mentioned in the intro, we've got an ever-important partner to our networks joining us today. That is, of course, SiriusXM themselves. For without their support, as you know, we simply wouldn't exist. And on that note, it's a great time to bring in our guest and the man behind the master plan himself, Mr. Ricky Lima. Ricky, this is a new season for CMA Networks. We've undergone such evolution over the years. So happy to have you on because today we have a very specific mission to accomplish. What are we going to be covering today?
Well, Ben, today we're going to be talking about three important things. We're talking about product because you can't make your profitability without the product. We're talking about the promotions that are available to the customers that help you sell more SiriusXM. And lastly, the supporting materials that we're sending to all the dealers to make it that much easier for you to sell SiriusXM, promote SiriusXM, and be able to educate yourself so that when customers have a question, you have the answer.
All right, Ricky, we're about ready to dive in. But before that, I got to give you some love because we've got a quick message from SiriusXM reminding dealers just how much they love it. And when we come back, it's me and Ricky, and we're diving deep on all these great things that SiriusXM has to offer the dealers.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability.
People love it.
All right, let's get right into it. Ricky, I guess the first question I wanted to establish in today's presentation was to understand or have clarification on this simple fact. And that is SiriusXM is a huge company. I mean, you guys have some of the biggest brand names, stars, artists, and all that stuff. And yet here we are with our, what I call modest mobile electronics industry, but yet it seems to be very important to SiriusXM. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of explain that and just how important our aftermarket mobile electronics industry actually is to SiriusXM.
Well, that's a great question, Ben. Really, it comes down to partnerships. So we work with every single automotive manufacturer in North America. So we try to get into as many vehicles as possible. But the challenge is we're not going to put our chipset technology in every single vehicle. There's probably over 14, 15 million cars in Canada that are not factory equipped with SiriusXM. So there's a huge opportunity to present SiriusXM as an add-on, especially when your customers are coming in to look for and replace their head unit with, something that's, got the latest and greatest technology. And if it's got that SiriusXM Ready logo, then, it should be a reflex to add that SXV300 as part of the installation, provides more profitability. And, it's a great add-on. I mean, if every single automotive manufacturer didn't like the content that we're putting out, we wouldn't be working with them. So it's all about content and it's all about profitability. And that's why the aftermarket business is so important and still relevant for us.
And opportunity, I think, is the key word of today's conversation. So let's break down the hardware for those dealers tuning in who need to understand exactly how that breaks out. So I believe in hardware, we can look at it two ways, Ricky. Let's first start with what we'll call aftermarket products. And I believe there are two models of product that they need to know about.
That's absolutely right, Ben. We got two dock and play radios that are available for you. And it depends on, the customer's budget and how feature rich they want. their portable satellite radio to be. So the entry level model here we'll show first is the Onyx EZR. Really cool radio. Not a lot of bells and whistles to this, but it's got split screen mode, so it allows you to have what you're listening to playing on the left. But once you've set all your favorites, you'll be able to see what's playing on the right hand side, so you can have a quick jump to listen to some of your other favorite channels. On top of that, you got a really cool feature called Tune Mix. So once you've set your favorites and you hit the Tune Mix button at the bottom, it allows you to alternate between your favorites, basically creating your own custom channel. It's got 10 channel presets and really, basic functions, but a great way to get into the satellite service that we have available. And then on top of that, if you want to step up to the Rode BT, this one here has that connectivity that I think most vehicles now include, which is that Bluetooth functionality. So with the EZR, you can either connect using an auxiliary cable or you can connect using the built-in FM transmitter. With the Rode BT, you have the added connectivity of using the Bluetooth feature. On top of that, you get 20 channel presets instead of 10. And you still get that tune mix feature, but you also have the pause, rewind, replay. And the other cool feature about this is the installation and less that's sitting in your vehicle. So the actual chipset technology is in that little port that goes into the cigarette lighter area. And what that does is it eliminates that little vehicle cradle that the Onyx EZR sits in. So now you can use the magnetic backing and do a nice, clean installation for your customer. And those are the two options that are available, and both are great options. It really just depends on the customer on what their budget's like and what functionality they're looking for.
Ricky, I think those two are really great options. I'm particularly interested in the BT one because, most vehicles do have Bluetooth, so why not? And I think, the different options for mounting really make it and set it apart and give that nice, clean install, like you said. Now, the next piece I want to talk about is probably the most notorious piece in our industry because this is the one that gets it done. It's the SXV300 and another model. This is under the integration product category, guys, whereby this is how you get SiriusXM into vehicles in the aftermarket when you're selling your source unit. I'll let Ricky tell you all about it.
That's absolutely right, Ben. Our aftermarket solutions, from a dock and play perspective to integrated, we certainly have those options available. For the audience, they're probably looking more for that integration because they want to have a nice, clean install for the customer. And what better way to do that than the SXV300? So with all those head unit partners that we work with across North America, it's got that SiriusXM Ready logo. This is your add-on right here. The SXV300, which really has only two connectors. You've got the module that connects into the back of your head unit, and then you're running your antenna, plug in, run the antenna to the roof, and you're done. It is the closest to a factory solution as you're going to get. And even easier for customers and for the installers is if that vehicle that's coming into the bay is already factory equipped with SiriusXM, then you actually don't even need to run that magnetic mount antenna. You can just use one of the SAT adapters that are available and be able to integrate tie in right into the factory antenna. So really, really cool option here. And again, it's all about clean installs. It's all about having less in the customer's vehicle, giving them the best and closest to a factory solution as they're going to get. And then they're controlling everything on the actual head unit. And then the feature set is actually dependent on the head unit itself. But, if you get into some of those larger screens, you're going to have that great color screen, album artwork, lots of cool features, the smart features like Tune Start, like Tune Mix, all that functionality that's available. To take a step forward into some of the other source units that are available that may not be right for vehicle, but more for what we call power sports, is the SXV300 M1C. This one just launched this year. Okay. And the main feature and the main difference between this versus the traditional SXV300 is the antenna. We no longer incorporate the magnetic mount antenna in this one. This one comes with a Shakespeare marine antenna, but we actually label this as marine and RV. So it has great options for, if you're tying this into a Fusion head unit, a JL head unit, Wet Sounds head unit, something that is marine specific. You've got a marine grade antenna to tie into the customer's boat, and it allows 3 different mounting options. And I'll actually show you a display that we have available that we made for those marine dealers that are out there. You've got the SXV300, which is the module, and then you've got the antenna. And you see here, you've got the pedestal mount, you've got the low profile mount, and then you've got the surface mount. So lots of options available for installations. And, for instance, if you're putting this into an RV, you probably want to go with this low surface mount. So lots of options available. But again, it's all about being able to tie into that SiriusXM ready head unit. And what better way to do that than with a nice clean solution using the SXV300?
All right, Ricky. So it looks like we've checked the boxes when it comes to the selection of hardware which is available, whether it is a take and go kind of listening situation or an integration situation. Now let's get into some important stuff, and that is the promotions. Because let's be honest, SiriusXM has been pretty darn good about supporting dealers with promotions. And from my understanding, when it comes to promotions, it kind of breaks up into 2 channels. You got one promotion which is going to be very service based, and another opportunity which is a little bit more hardware based. Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely, Ben. We really have 2 great offers available to customers, especially in this industry, specific to the 12-volt category. Customers are coming in, they're not just purchasing a backup camera. They're not just purchasing a head unit or speakers, and then, they're on their way. With SiriusXM, we're, subscriber based. So people are subscribing to our service. We want to make sure that we have the right offers available to the customers. So with the people that are coming into your doors, we have an offer that we like to call our 2 ways to save offer. One is the service base. So from a service perspective, and this is branded to every single radio that we produce for Canada, it includes the customer's choice of either getting our music and entertainment plan for $60 $60 a year, which works out to be $5 a month. And we also have our platinum tier, which is the highest tier available. It includes all the programming, including the streaming portion. So, all the functionality that we have available, the Pandora stations, the extra channels, all that available on our platinum tier. And the customers can get that for $99 a year or $825 a month. Both versions, taxes and fees apply. But it's, from a price point perspective, you really can't beat the rates that we're pushing out to the customers. But on top of that, and yes, the customer is making that investment into the hardware. So they're either buying a dock and play radio, or they are adding an SXV300 to their head unit. So we want to make it as easy and affordable as possible. So the second promotion or segment to our 2 ways to save offer is our rebate or reward offer, which is an $80 SiriusXM branded Visa card that we are sending in the mail to the customer once they've activated, and they go online to submit their rebate. And we make it so easy for the customer. It takes minutes for them to do. They're just putting in their information. They're taking a picture of their receipt and they're sending it through. Once we validate that that radio's been activated, we're going to be sending off that card directly to the customer. And now the customer has recovered their $80 that they've put towards adding on an SXV300 to the head unit. So now the customer can get basically the tuner for free after their reward, plus they're getting service for as low as $5 a month. So really, we've made it as affordable as possible for the customers, and we're making it easy for them to activate and to submit for their rewards. So honestly, you really can't beat that.
Ricky, I'm going to be honest. You're putting up some pretty stiff arguments here. I mean, we've got the hardware covered. Now you've got these incredible deals. But what about support from a POS standpoint, or any other type of support and materials that you're providing for our Canadian dealers to really be aggressive and succeed in selling SiriusXM through to their customers? What do we have going on there?
Well, one thing we certainly don't want to do is leave our dealers in the dark, and make sure that they have, the right tools in order to promote and to sell and to become profitable with SiriusXM. So we ensured every year that we send a POS kit to each dealer so that they have all the tools that they need This year, our tools include, and for Conrad out there, a couple of pens, because you can't, live without pens. But there's really two tools that we found, felt really necessary for customers or for the dealers to have. One is a little piece of training material that we had available. So this is included in the kit. It's a 3-page ring booklet. It has your a channel guide that's available so that you can reference some of the channels that we have available on our lineup. It shows our packages that we have available, right? From platinum all the way down to music showcase. And we also talk a little bit about our streaming service, because we actually have a standalone streaming service. So for those head units that are not SiriusXM ready, you can still promote SiriusXM. Just let the customer know that they can go online and sign up for the SiriusXM streaming service as a standalone. Then we talk about our 2 ways to save promotion. So you've got your service for as low as $5 a month, and then you've got your $80 reward in the form of a SiriusXM branded Visa card. And the most important piece to this, which I encourage every dealer, from the actual dealer themselves to the sales manager to the person installing in the back, make sure you take your e-learning. This is a really important one. It's a 15-minute tool. It's a tutorial to give you all the tools you need to sell and know everything about SiriusXM. So all you got to do is go to SiriusXM.com/SXM University. You register, you complete your tutorial, and we actually have monthly draws. So 3 winners every month get a $50 Visa card, and every quarter we're going to be drawing a $250 winner. So this is a great tool to have. You probably don't want to show this to your customer, because this is really only for the dealer. What we did create for the customer, and again, this is a reminder for both the dealer as well as the customer, especially once the installation is complete, is a little visor card or mirror hanger that will also include a brochure holder. So you can just have this sitting on your service desk or even have it in the back. But I suggest that every single installation, once complete, gets one of these, right? It's perforated here, so you just stick it on the mirror. Okay, and this is a reminder to the customer on where they go to activate their service and where they go to submit for their service. So we have a little QR code here so the customer can easily scan, takes them to the 2 ways to save page. They activate, they submit for the rebate, they enjoy SiriusXM, and they're going to get their $80 reward back as soon as possible. So this is a great tool. Make sure that it's visible for the customer, because not only is it a reminder to you and to the customer of what SiriusXM has available, but also it's an opportunity for you to promote, the affordability aspect of it. SiriusXM for as low as $5 a month and the $80 reward. So all this should have been shipped and reached your stores by now. And if you haven't, please reach out to one of your distributors, and we can certainly get a kit sent out to you.
So after all this, we've given the information as far as the hardware. We've talked about the different promotions. You're supporting dealers through different materials and whatnot. But at the end of the day, dealers need to understand that this is an incredible opportunity that needs to be consistent, because at the end of the day, this will help their bottom line. So Ricky, in your words, why is it so important to always be pushing SiriusXM to all your customers?
So at the end of the day, Ben, really it's about 2 things. It's about content and it's about profitability. So with SiriusXM, from a content perspective, we cannot speak about this enough. We have the latest and greatest in content available to our customers. We've got commercial-free music. We have all the sports content available. So if you're an NHL fan, a Major League Baseball fan, if you're into PGA sports, whatever it is that you're into, we've got all that coverage. Comedy, we've got still carrying our friend Howard Stern. We've got all the news that's available. So don't think of SiriusXM as just music. We are well beyond just music. So content is king, and this is what customers are, especially the customers that are coming in and they're upgrading their speakers, their source units. They want to have some great content available in their vehicle, and SiriusXM is a great addition to anything else that their customers are already listening to. But the other one, which is most important to the dealers, is about profitability. So, without promoting SiriusXM as an add-on, you're taking away that profitability on the hardware, and you're also taking away that profitability on the installation. So it's a really easy upgrade for the customer. And again, with the tools that we're offering and the promotions that we're putting forward for the customer, so that they basically get the tuner for free after the reward, plus getting service for as low as $5 a month, it is so easy for a dealer and the installer to complete this and add that additional profitability. We live in a time right now where, customers' discretional spending may not be what it was a few years back, pre-pandemic and stuff. So every customer that comes into your door, you have to make sure that you provide them with everything that you have available, all the products and services that you have for them, so that they know, go through that checklist of everything. Make sure SiriusXM is up there as one of those boxes that you're ticking off when you're going through your sales routine with the customer, right? Because it's all about profitability. Those customers that are coming in, you need to ensure that you're servicing them and you're providing them with, everything that you have available in your portfolio. So please don't forget to make SiriusXM, part of that checklist.
Now, last but not least, Ricky, you mentioned distributor partners. Let's, for the record, let our dealers know if they're interested in purchasing some product or getting some inventory of especially those SXV 300s. What is the best route for them to take, and who are the official distributors for SiriusXM in Canada?
Well, like I said before, Ben, we got great partnerships across the board from an OEM perspective, and especially from a distribution perspective on the aftermarket side. We work closely with Ericsson Consumer, Importel, Automobility, Gentech, Trends, Jemson, Sobel, and Robert T. Bear. There might be some other smaller distributors that we also have some form of distribution with. But at the end of the day, we have a great assortment of distributors across Canada that are willing and able to help you with all your SiriusXM needs, whether it is regarding your hardware, promotions, or any questions that you have. So, your options for support certainly are available to you, whether it is directly to the distributor or even to myself. So I encourage you to stay in touch with your distributors. Make sure you get the latest pricing on the SiriusXM modules that we have available, promotions that we may run with each of them. But yeah, we got some great partners and love working with each and every one of them.
So if you're interested in any of the products or want more information on anything that we covered today on today's show, make sure you hit up the website, twowaystosave.ca. It's going to really detail out all the promotions that Ricky was referring to. And my thoughts on this at the end of the day is that this is all about optimizing opportunity. Here's SiriusXM providing you the goods, the support, the tools, the promotions to be successful in converting every sale you have to upselling that customer and optimizing that sale, because at the end of the day, that's going to affect your bottom line, and you know how important that is. On that note, I want to thank Ricky Lima for coming in and joining us today. Great presentation. This is another CMA Networks session brought to you by SiriusXM, all about SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.